Some stories will shock you, some truth will challenge you, but every message has a purpose. Welcome to the Dominion Streams, where faith, truth, and the power of God comes alive.
Now, hearing deals with external, your ears. It changes and reshapes your believing. Your behavior. But believing reshapes your perception, what you know. Am I talking to you? So, I may ask you a question. Do you believe this is a pulpit? You believe it's a pulpit, right? What makes you believe? Because you can see it. That's exactly what faith does. What made you respond to my question? You heard it. Let me quickly speak to you as someone who paid the school fees a little bit. Do you know there is what is known as logic, which is the truth, and then there's what is known as fallacy, which is the error in reasoning or the false reasoning. Now, in fallacy, there are different levels and types of fallacy. A fallacy, most believers are living in them. And they think that fallacy that they are knowing or they are believing is the truth, or it's an error. Am I talking to somebody here? Wait, what I mean? Now let me just explain to you. Now, there is what is known as the bandwagon fallacy. A bandwagon fallacy is a fallacy whereby because everybody is saying it, it means it is like that. But that could be not true. Just because everybody is saying it, it doesn't mean it's like that. I've heard people losing elections because 6 people came to them and they said, everyone loves you in our village. The fact that everybody loves you doesn't mean that everybody will vote for you. So that could be what? A fallacy. So there is reality. Reality is different with what? With a fallacy. What is real and what's not real. So a bandwagon is a fallacy. Because, everybody hates Major One. Is it true that everybody hates Major One? Now, there are people right now who wake up in the morning and say, you know what, Papa? Everyone hates me. And they believe that everybody rejects them. You know why? They are living in a what? In a fallacy. Just because 3 people mistreated you at church, it does not mean everybody hates you. So there are people who are living in a what? In a fallacy. So that is bandwagon. So there's also what is known as hasty hearing. This is where a person begins to behave quickly, come up with a conclusion to say it's like this. And it's very dangerous. Am I talking to somebody? Like, okay, how did you even come up to a conclusion? How did you come quickly it's like this? Am I speaking to you? Like that would be a fallacy. You have just seen someone, wife, moving together with a man I think they're dating. That's fallacious. Am I talking to somebody? That's fallacious. Maybe it's not even true. I remember one time I went to town in 2014 with my sister. And I got a call. We heard that you were with a woman in a shop. My younger sister. So just because, that was in 2014, just because this man is looking with a nice stomach and a suit, doesn't mean he's a billionaire. Like how my daughter's dressing here. Like, oh, can you borrow me 10 million? That's fallacious. So we have a lot of people today who are living in a what? Now, that's what the devil does. The devil removes people from. I'm going to show with you. I'm going to show you just a moment. So that is a hasty fallacy. And then there's what is known as slippery slope fallacy. Just because it's slippery, it doesn't mean if you walk with it, you will fall. So just because some people made investments and they didn't make money, it doesn't mean if you also make an investment, you want to make money. Like, like people opened shops in town. There are people who opened the same shops, they didn't make it. Do you understand how many people came to me and told me to say, there are some prophets who came. You remember? Because they failed, it doesn't mean I'll fail. That would be a fallacy. So there are people today who are living in a fallacy. They actually believe their actions, their behaviors are motivated by fallacious attributes. And there is what is known as the appeal to authority. Just because my parents said this, it is like that. There are so many things I told my father now. I said, my father, this was not true. Appeal to authority. When we were growing up, there are things our parents were telling us. Am I talking to you? There are things. So because of that, we were shaped by what we were being told. So when you grow up, even you struggle, this how. So you fix yourself. You grew up hearing your parents discussing about we have no money. We have no this, we have no enough resources. And that's how you grew up. And when you grow up, you also begin to look at life the same. But that could be a fallacy. You're not getting it. Are you hearing me? And then there is strawman's fallacy. Strawman's. This is a fallacy where someone deliberately, when we are having a conversation, I'm talking to him. We are talking. And normally in relationships and in marriages. So a person will completely misrepresent what you are saying purposely. For example, a man is saying to the woman, is saying, you know what? I didn't like this food today. Then the wife says, oh, so you mean all my food is bad? Like, seriously? I didn't say that all your food is bad. Now, what's going to happen? They'll begin to argue about that. And all a woman is saying to the husband that these days, you better give me money. Oh, so you mean I'm stingy. Now, what's going to happen? You begin to argue on the fallacy, and you are going to ignore the concern. So normally people use that to circumvent from being responsible on what? That concern. Then they raise up another issue that is parallel. And you begin to discuss something that is not who you are or what you are saying. The matter we are talking about here is this. But it has been changed and rechanneled, and you begin to talk about other things. Oh, so this is why even yesterday you were on your phone. And then the husband says, oh, what time was I on the phone? Yesterday, no, I was on my phone yesterday. Guess what? You begin to find about yesterday on the phone. What was the main issue? The food. The man was bringing a genuine concern, or the woman was bringing the genuine concern. And then the man changes it and then he redirects it. What he's trying to do, or she's trying to do, she's trying to take you out of what you are saying into a different zone where you begin to discuss irrelevant issues and you begin to fight over there. Marriages end, relationships break because of fallacies. And then there is what is known as ad hominem fallacy. This is a fallacy where a person begins to attack you in a conversation. You are saying to somebody, you are saying to someone, for example, you are saying, and I'm going to show you what this means spiritually, and they're all in the Bible. Now, for example, you are saying to someone, right? And I'll give you an example. For example, one time I was on an interview with a journalist. Okay, so what's your name? I said, I'm Prophet Bushiri. Okay, so why do you do fake miracles? Do you understand? Now, a fallacious way, people begin to attack your personality. Now, imagine you're having a conversation with your husband. Do you understand? And then the husband says to you, or you say to your husband, you know, that I didn't like what happened yesterday. Do you understand? I didn't like what happened yesterday. And then he says, this is very foolish. What's happening? The person is attacking you instead of addressing the issue. What will happen? You won't address the issue. You end up what? Becoming emotional also. Like, you just called me that? Now, when they do that, they have already dragged you out of your concern. You are now emotional. Do you understand? Now, all these issues I've just spoken now is what the devil does. Do you know what he did? He went to Gideon and made Gideon have a fallacy that he was poor. He was coming from a family that there was least from Manasseh. That he was a nobody. The angel came and he said, Gideon, that's not who you are. You are believing in a fallacy. That is what misrepresenting you, make you believe what you are not. He said, you are a mighty man of valor. He said, I'm not. He said, for you to know, remove all these soldiers, put them aside. God will give you victory with the little soldiers. Because most people are living in a fallacy. The enemy has made you believe what, in fact, is not true about you. There's a misrepresentation of who you are. This is why there is a word called dialectics, where you put two different views together. Your thesis, which is your actual view, your actual thought, and the antithesis, which is the against your thought. You didn't hear this. We are going to university now. People now are looking at me and say, Papa, how much fees should we pay now? Hear this. So when the devil is speaking to you, right? For example, I'm going to give an example. Your thesis, which is your actual idea. You are sitting here, and then the devil says to you, to say that money, there's a big problem now. You can't have money because the markets are crashed. Now, that's a thesis. The antithesis, what if I can do something to make the money? So you can't just use a thought. Your rationale, your reasoning process is erred because there could be a solution. So the fallacy normally comes when you've got only one view, because there are two opposing forces that causes motion. For a car to drive, it must have a accelerator and it must have a brake. For the light to produce, they must have a positive wire and a negative wire. So sometimes what is happening around you, the positive, the negatives, they're not just the happenings, are the rules of motion. You didn't hear, I just told you. So a fallacy, are you hearing what I'm trying to say? So there are people right now who are moved by what? Fallacies. They are told by the devil. In fact, when you see the devil attacking a person's character, he wants that person to become what? Emotional, and they begin to react on what? On a fallacy. Oh, Bushiri this, Bushiri that, Bushiri this. Why? Because the devil wants me to react. And the moment I'm reacting, I'm believing in a fallacy. That's why no matter how, whether in an interview or whether in marriage, when a person starts attacking your personality, remain your composure at any given cost. Pass the message you want to pass. Otherwise, you end up fighting on a fallacy and ending up not passing the message you wanted to what? To pass. Also, you mean you're a fake prophet? I said, oh yeah. Just to clarify your point. You can't have a genuine dollar if there is no fake dollar. The reason why a fake dollar exists is because a genuine dollar exists. So if they are fake prophets, it's because they are true prophets. Then I stayed quiet. He attacks my personality. I remain in my composure. Because what they are trying to do, they want you to become fallacious and begin to answer on Pharisees. And in a given moment, the devil will do that to you. You are now praying on a fallacy and not on a reality. You are not who you are. What the devil is saying you are, that's not who you are. When people are fighting you, the devil is trying to divert you. Somebody say, not me.
Not me.
Say it again. Say that that's not me.
That's not me.
Say it again, that's not my reality.
That's not my reality.
The devil is fighting. He wants to change your direction. So there are people right now who are living in a fallacy. But then, you must come to realization of reality. That's how faith is. So faith makes you move from a fallacy into the truth. So, what is the opposite word of fallacy? Is the truth. Come on. What's the opposite word of a fallacy? What did Jesus Christ say? He said, you shall know the truth. And the truth. Because Jesus understood that people are living in a what? In a fallacy. So if you read the Bible, it says that the devil is a liar. Now the word liar, there's a word fallacy. So he makes people to be believing in what they are not. To be commenting, to be praying on things that are not. The day you begin to understand who you are, you get out of fallacies. And you begin to operate like somebody who understands. We are going to pray tonight. Somebody say the prophetic faith.
The prophetic faith.
Say it again. Say the prophetic faith.
The prophetic faith.
Say it comes from hearing, then believing. We're just on number 2. We have got 3 more. It hears, it believes. To hear, to shama. What does it mean to shama? It means to be reshaped by what you have heard. It isn't just something to come in your ears to hear, like you are learning history at school. It has to reshape you. Abraham heard. Abraham shama. Joshua shama. Paul. Mary. Everybody, it all began by hearing. But they didn't just hear as a noise, but it made them act because they heard. But you can hear, but you can't also believe. You must understand this. You can be reshaped and come in this church like this and but not believe. That's why believing is number 2. Be certain it will happen. And I want to confirm that be certain that thing you've been believing God for, it will happen. And don't just hear it. Believe it. Be certain.